seen a lot of stuff in the news, like government cuts and police cuts and just the government cutting away funds from the police and whatnot. And in the end we just got sick of it and just thought, well, you've got to do something, you've got to be proactive. You can't just sit and put a little post out saying, oh, I'm sick of this shit on Twitter or Facebook or any other social media. And so we started this and it sort of just went from there. We are Callum and Scott, a group of 2 people who deploy online profiles reporting to be females and males from 11 to 15, and if an adult instigates a conversation and starts to talk sexual and wants to meet up, we'll follow on with that meeting and get the police involved to arrest them and get them put through the system.
Let's not lie, sir, right? How old was the girl that you're here to meet? Right, sir. 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 Whoa. Sir.
I didn't do nothing! I didn't meet anybody! I've just got to the company. I've lost my way! I've lost my way!
All the way from Liverpool, sir?
No, I'm not!
And the police? I advise you not to walk around in this area saying what I'm saying, sir. I suggest you stand back here now!
I didn't do nothing!
Stand next to your car now, sir.
I didn't do nothing!
You came to meet what you thought was a 13-year-old girl that you made in the chat room. No. Yes, you did, sir.
I didn't.
Okay. Because I'm kind of disappointed, really, that the police are not supporting the online activists more. I think that it's really important for them to work together and to work also with therapy organisations as well. I think what they're doing is, it's about combating this sense of hopelessness that we feel as a society. We hear all of these stories about child sexual abuse. We don't know what to do. But actually, child sexual abuse is an entirely preventable crime. It's not like disease. It's not about microbes. It's not about natural disasters. It's simply about human choices and human actions. So we can always change it.
I mean, we would be telling lies if we said it didn't make us depressed. You know what I mean? Like, anyone who doesn't want to see a picture of child abuse, seeing one, you know, like that picture will stay in my head till the day I die, you know what I mean? I'll never get, you can't see, unsee stuff like that. That's him playing with his dick. And this is what he's sending to a 13-year-old girl that he met on a kid's website. There's more pictures of his penis. There's numerous pictures of his penis. He keeps saying stuff like he can't wait to have her in the bed on Saturday night when he's meeting. You know, obviously he's going to get a big shock when he sees our 2 ugly mugs turn up, but...
So all these people you found like married and stuff like that?
Well, you know, it's funny when you say that, because some of the pictures that this guy sent would indicate to me that maybe he does have a child or something, because if you look in the background on that picture there, it looks like sort of like a beanbag, like a postman pat or something.
So that could indicate that he's got a child?
It could indicate he either has a child or he has children staying over.
And he's 38, you see. So you start thinking to yourself, it's not illegal, but in my mind, if he thinks or believes talking to a 13-year-old girl, it's definitely inappropriate. In real life, a 13-year-old girl wouldn't say that. She'll be really excited that somebody finds her attractive and wants to be like this guy here. Would you consider dating a guy my age? He's going to be, wow, really? What, you like me that much? They haven't even seen each other. So this is straight away all to do with exploitation. It's got nothing to do with, if we go out to a bar and you see somebody that's going to be your age or around your age, it's attraction. This isn't that. This is nothing like that at all. This is complete exploitation by individuals who use the internet. Incoming video requests from Dave. So the minute I say no, in reality, what would a 13-year-old girl do at home in the privacy of her own bedroom? She'd turn it on. So but then again, I've got, 12 up there now, so to lose one isn't a bad thing. So I'm going to close it down, because the next stage will probably take too far and I'd have to go to report it, because no offences have been but that's how quick it is.
That's 12 potential pedophiles in under 10 minutes.
I would say out of those, I would get at least 6, if not 7. But I would have to close them down because I'd need to deal with 1, 2, 3 or 4 because obviously it gets very hard to deal with. So yeah, they're their potential, and some of them already, that 38-year-old from Surrey is saying, do you want to date me? Well, that can only mean one thing.
Why do girls respond? So when an adult man decides to chat up a 13-year-old girl online, why doesn't she just say, what a weirdo, you know, and not respond and report him to the police? And I think one of the key reasons why girls don't do that is because we as a society have already groomed her to think that that sort of behaviour is acceptable.
When I was growing up, like, it was normal for like 18-year-old lads to go out with like 12-year-old lasses. It wasn't really a problem. It was just like, well, they can consent to, like, not in my eyes obviously, but like to their friend group, it was normal. Like, the lasses would hang out with them and they were like 18, 19, 20. But
did that kind of influence what you guys are doing now? Do you think your
I think a
upbringing?
lot of...
it would have been not, like, wasn't normal where you were, like...
Yeah, it happened a lot, you know, like...
20-year-olds going out with like 13, 14
Yeah, I mean, I remember a lass in school who was like... She was like 13 and her boyfriend was like 30 odd, you know what I mean? Obviously she's being brainwashed by this person into believing, you know, the lies that he's obviously fed her, but, you know, if it happened then, it's happening now.
We know from a recent study that was done that the majority of girls at school are facing sexual harassment and sexual abuse at school. So 3/4 of all girls at school are used to being called names like slag or slut or bitch on a regular daily basis. About half of all girls at school experience sexual harassment, and almost 1/3 of all girls experience some form of unwanted sexual touching at school. And things like, you know, boys sending them photographs of their penises and stuff like that at school. So then, when it happens online with adult men, they don't know that a line has been crossed there because they're used to having very confused boundaries about what's sexually healthy, what's sexually normal.
5 guys having sex with you, one after another, raped, X. I'll decide who you meet and when, okay. So like, he's basically wanting to meet the girl first and then traffic her out to his 5 other sick fucking friends, you know what I mean? It's one of the sickest things I've had to read. They all like young girls, show legs, be nice, but no snogging or touching unless you wanna. Obviously he's a very, very sick person, and he goes on a bit further later on to say basically she can come and wank his dog off. You know, like, that's plainly putting it how he wants it to do. He wants her to have some sort of sexual contact with his dog while he watches, and then he was saying she could put one hand on the dog's penis and one hand on his penis and play with them both simultaneously. It's like...
But he's going to get the shock of his life when we confront him and say, oh, why are you here today?
Ron, can I word with you, please? Yeah, sorry. Under section 24A of the Police and Criminal Activities Act, I can tell you at this point in time you are being detained. Yeah? What for? So come to meet a 13-year-old girl following sexual grooming called Jessica, yes? Yes?
No comment.
Yeah?
No comment.
No comment, that's fine, sir. So do you think it's acceptable to be doing what you've been doing, sir? Stay on that side. Yes, sir?
Hey?
Do you think it's appropriate what you've been doing? Sir, I'm asking you to just wait, sir.
Why?
Because, well, if you want to get ripped by...
You police?
I'm a police, I'm from an organisation. That just doesn't have to make a detainment, sir.
Right, detained, sir.
There you go, in section 24 here for police and criminal activities act, you are now being detained. You've been read that. The criminal police comes to arrest you, sir. That there is up or in deal, sir.
Once the constable arrives, you will be arrested. Can you hold him while I go and get officer?
You knew she was 13, sir? Basically, he was on a teen chat website for 13 to 19-year-old children.
Right.
He messaged one of our DJ profiles on there under the name of 13F Newcastle. he was told straight away that she's 13. He's been very sexually extreme in what he wants to do, and telling her that she can masturbate his dog off and stuff like that, and he has 5 friends who go and have sex with her. He was coming here today to meet her, and was going to be sticking his hand up her dress and feeling her, kissing her, and that she had to say that...
So there's been some eyes, right?
She had to say that he was her uncle. Yes, sir.
Right, okay.
And he's travelled from Montrose in Scotland. The Northumbria police have been called, and they are aware of it, and they are
Right. You obviously heard what this person's alleged, anyway, they say, obviously I don't know any, but it's been alleged, okay? So based on that at the moment, alright, you'll have to obviously stay with me, so officially under arrest, so we should obviously try and prove the offence, alright? And that's on suspicion of that offence, okay? So you don't have to say anything, you may harm the offence, we don't mention the question, somebody which later on in court, anything you do say may be given, alright? Basically, there's been some attempted grooming online so before with what he thought was a 13-year-old girl. Sexual references and all the rest of it. He's hoping to come and meet this 13-year-old today. They basically challenged him when he's turned up. So they're just grabbing some details and a bit off the people like. So.
Right, mate, come and jump in the van.